back to my YouTube channel. This is Aarti Ahuja, your life coach. You're watching my show Amplify with Aarti, a show which brings stories of change makers. And today we have a very special guest, Miss Varsha Rajkova. Varsha, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Aarti. Thank you for inviting me.
So let me take the opportunity to introduce Varsha. Varsha is a beauty queen, an ocean ambassador, an environmentalist, a dancer, a choreographer, a model. The list is long. She's also an entrepreneur. Varsha, a huge and a warm welcome to the show once again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Varsha has won Miss Cuba International 2016. So Varsha, this career path, how did you choose?
So, as when you grow up, there are lots of things that you want to do since childhood. So I wasn't pretty sure of what I wanted to be, but whenever I used to see the TV, and like the television or watch like go watch movies in the theater. So I was always very curious and happy to see the way the people treat the ones who are on screen, So I was very curious that why amongst all of us, only these selected peoples are like, the crowd is actually going towards them and taking pictures. So I told my dad that no matter what, I want to be famous. I want to be a superstar. But how, what, when, I didn't know that time. And then as a child, you on screen, you look at doctors, that's like very common. Everyone wants to become a doctor or an engineer. Then something that I found of myself, that I was very passionate about dancing, so I started dancing. But as a child, like I said, you have many dreams to achieve, that I want to be this, I want to be that. So eventually the clarity of what I want to be was through the journey that I had, since my childhood to teenage. So as I moved ahead in life and I started learning, you grow as a person, you grow within your emotions and your feelings, then you actually know what you want to be. And you understand that, okay, this is what in particular that's attracting you. And this is the final thing that you want to see yourself, when you grow up. So for me, then slowly, also that my parents guided me that time, I knew that limelight was something that I was craving for, and I used to enjoy that. So that's when my mom was like that, if you sit at home and you're like, you want to be this, that, it's not going to come to you. You have to step out, you have to try. And, trials are always difficult. It's not easy. So, but yes, I got the clarity through my journey. And then when you grow up, you grow with your passion, you know what to do. So that's how I learned that, okay, I want to be in the limelight and I want to shine out in the world. So
well said. And self-awareness is so important to know what we want in life. And you beautifully quoted that. Very apt. So Varsha, I read somewhere that you have also worked with the legendary Saroj Khan as a dancer. So tell us something more about that.
Okay, so this was actually a surprise package for me, because if whoever has read my journey or heard me before, they must have heard about the rejection. So it was not easy for me to reach where I am today. I have had many rejections. If I start counting since childhood, then it's going to be a lot. But 17, I'm still going on. It's not that I've achieved, so rejections are not there. So, like when I was trying to get into the limelight through dancing, creating my own groups in college, because back home when I used to dance, my sister, all our house help and everyone used to sit and applaud for me that, oh, wow, she's such a brilliant dancer. But when you grow and then you grow out of your comfort zone, that's when your journey starts. So, that's when I got to know, okay, there is something that, is not the same how it is back home. So in university, it was pretty different. I never got the chance to be center stage or be appreciated for the talent that I had. I was always like, nee, you participate next year. So, or not this year. But I created my own team and I competed nationally during my university days. So that was the time when my dad met someone in a reunion, and he happened to work with Master Ji, like Saroj Khan. So that's what I assigned her as Master Ji. So then he said that, okay, your daughter can try. I'll, connect her to Saroj Khan. She can try, audition, try. And I gave her a call. But the next moment I heard her voice, I was numb. I didn't know what to do. And she was like, you come to Mumbai tomorrow, pack your bags and come to Mumbai tomorrow. Don't come to the studio, come directly to my residence. Let me see, I'll audition you there only. And she actually did call me to her residence. So when I went there, that was it. She gave me an opportunity. She's like, we are shooting for a movie that's coming up. You come from tomorrow, join the group. She didn't ask me anything. I don't know what she saw. That was the turning point of my life, because a legend saying that to you, that you have the spark, you have the talent, can change a lot of things. All those rejections that I had, how good I was or how bad, was like, it was like nothing at that point of time. You start believing in yourself, because not every time all the critics that you get is productive. It's sometimes a lot to take. So as a child or even as a teenager, it's difficult to deal with that. It's very easy to say that, okay, you need to grow stronger, but it's difficult to deal with such feelings at that tender age and that particular time. So for me, that was a turning point, because while I was assisting her, she told me one fine day that, Varsha, I think you should try to go in front of the camera than being behind, because there is something more that you seek for when you're shooting. It's not that you just want to do this all your life, because they are legends for a reason, so they see something. Then I was like, okay, I have to try back, and I have to go try in or audition for modeling, and let me see what comes from that. So that's where things started changing. I started auditioning again. I started going for modeling. And for me, it was like the opportunity that was given, so walking in malls or on the streets, nothing mattered where I was walking. I just needed a stage where I could put hair, makeup, my dress, and walk, with my heels on. So that was the craze that I had at that time. I wasn't judgy about what show is this, or what kind of coverage will I get. It was just the stage that mattered, and the opportunity and the experience, because I know that I will be learning from each show that I'm doing. So that was very important for me. And yes, that's what you see right now. It's all paid off, I guess.
It is very beautiful indeed. And few points, viewers, I would like you to pay attention. Varsha has been rejected so many times, and that never give up attitude is so much beautiful in her. And it is very easy to say you should try, you should not give up, but that resilience that you said at a tender age, it is something, it comes from within, and to take those critics and the feedback in a positive manner, it's a very, very important takeaway, that belief in yourself that yes, I can do. And that happens only when you have that hunger, the passion, the desire. And I think she had that fire in her. So that's why Varsha is here. What she has achieved so much in life. So Varsha,
yes, what to say before we move ahead, it's very important for our critics also. Even now when we face it, it's very important. Something very well said by my parents, that it should be criticism should be productive criticism. It's like not like that you're criticizing to a limit, because that's where the mental health goes down. What we all are talking about right now, we need to focus that let's not just talk about it, but when we criticize, we need to work on the part that is productive. Just don't keep criticizing all the time. It's not going to help a person, because everyone has their own perceptions in life. Everyone has their own capacity to take something. So for each one of us, it's very important to see the age group and then talk to them in a productive way, in a way that adds value to their goals and achievements. So yeah, that's what I want to say to everyone.
Very, very, very well said point, because a teenage is that's a very tender age, and if something sets in, a body image issue sets in. I read it in your interviews that people told you are dusky, you're not capable of becoming a model. So it's
they
something.
Accent, because they were oh, can you speak Hindi? Like I'm a Northeastern, so I have suffered a lot, but it's like just you need to keep your ear and eyes, everything just closed, and focus on what you want. But again, having said that, I know it's very difficult. That's why it's a request to everyone out there, friends, family, or viewers, it's very easy to just sit and criticize, but it's difficult to be in their shoes. So I think productive criticism is something that we all must practice, even in day-to-day life.
And to add to it, I would like to say, because I work in this area of body image, I don't think so anybody of us have any right to pass any comment on the physical appearance which nature or God has gifted us. If we are saying something to a human being, I think we are doubting the God's creation or nature's creation. So I don't think so we have any right to do that. So each one is unique and beautiful in the way we are. And a dusky, we are not shade cards. So everybody is unique in their own skin. So very well said, Varsha. And people need to be a little bit more critical when they are even passing a comment. Though we are on social media, it doesn't give them a right to write whatever they feel like. So
Yes.
very beautifully said. So Varsha, I have read that you are a climate reality leader. What's that? It was very fascinating. You're an environmentalist also, an ocean ambassador also. So what is this side of yours? Just tell our viewers a little bit more on this.
Okay, so like you said, how was your Miss Cuba international journey? So through these rejections, when I'll just go a brief short story about how the journey was and how did this whole thing of Ocean Ambassador and Climate Reality Project came in. So after facing rejections, then I did Femina, and then I did pageants after pageants. I kept on going. So during one of the pageants, a person from audience, he said that, Varsha, I think I've heard your introduction. So that's why I said that perform your 100%, you don't know who is watching. So, he said that it fits in perfect for a pageant that's coming up in India. It's not happened before. So because no one was qualifying, you need certain qualifications to represent India or any country in Miss Cuba International. So he said, you try. There are girls coming from all over the country, and there will be 24 finalists, and we'll have the national pageant in Goa this time. So, just listening to that fact that it's going to be in Goa, I was, thrilled, and I was like, okay, let's just go for it. I got selected. Then, then everything was just going with the flow, and that confidence that, okay, I may be good became that I am good, through the process, it became I am. Then I may be. So I won the India finals. Then I went to Miss Cuba International. I saw the girls, and this pageant is completely different because, it's like the girls are not only beauty queens models, like established, but they are certified scuba divers. So, they're talking about dives, they're talking about marine life. Some of them are marine biologists. So, it's quite different. So each one of us are certified scuba divers along with being a model. So, during your pageant, the Miss Cuba International pageant, you have somewhere around 6 to 8 dives that you have to do. Along with the finale, you have your ramp walk, your evening gown, question, answer, final question, and then the crowning. So the whole process is same like how other pageants happen, but the only difference is you have to have dive, and you have to dive properly because that's where the marking starts. And each day you have a presentation that you have to give. So it's quite a thrilling and mesmerizing experience that I've had through Miss Cuba. And so the girl who wins here as Miss Cuba International, she also becomes the Ocean Ambassador in the same day. So basically you're winning 2 titles, for your country. And that was something, as an environmentalist, I have always read in books that this is what we need to work on. But diving is something that made me realize what is actually happening, and the changes that we are going to have in future, that we talk about the alarming conditions, that's about global warming or about climate change. You can actually see when you're diving underwater, because that's where life originated. So you can see the changes and you can feel the threat, because, ocean gives us everything. It gives us the oxygen, like most of the oxygen that we are breathing. So, after you win this, you tour around the world, you're spreading awareness, you're talking about conservation, you're talking about environment, ocean conservation, safe diving practices. So after that, I got an opportunity. Climate Realities, again, it's an organization which was formed by former Vice President, US Vice President Al Gore. And the whole idea is basically to solve the climate crisis and to bring in to make sustainable living a reality in future. So that's the whole idea what the climate leaders do and work on. So you have training every year, and I had got my training in Brisbane, Australia in 2019. I represent in India as the Ocean Ambassador from Climate Reality India. So things started changing because there again, like I said, I learned a lot from my diving. When I went to hear Mr. Al Gore, I got to learn that, okay, this is not a small thing. This is something that our entire life depends on, our future depends on, and the mankind depends on, because the actions, the activities that we are having in day-to-day life, like we all are running, you are running behind something, I'm running behind limelight. So, we all are busy in our life doing something or the other, but are we really paying attention to the life, because that's not what we are valuing. We are just living, existing, I would say, not living actually, because if we do that, if we have that fear that, oh my God, I love my life, I want to live, that's when you start getting sensible and sensitive towards the environment. So, it's very important because climate change is a reality that's happening. If you go in the beaches, you can see, you can also feel it. The temperature is rising. We complain that, there is this summer was crazy. We talk to friends like, oh my God, I'm literally drenched, and it's like, I can't sit for my meetings. I need the AC on all the time. So you can see the changes. Like if you hear your grandparents talk about how their life was, you will never hear them using an AC, or a fan. They just used to enjoy the climate. So it has been changing, and it is a process. It will keep happening if we don't take care of it. But again, as climate leaders, it doesn't mean it's your choice. So it doesn't mean you have to get into activism. So that's a completely different line altogether. So only keep saying that
to create an awareness.
Yeah, my whole idea is to be the voice, of the organizations who are working towards it, who are trying to reach up to the people. Because when you win something, a simple example, if tomorrow Shah Rukh Khan or Deepika Padukone comes and talks to the students or the youths that, okay, this is what we are going to do, and this is what they immediately, the next day, you see Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere it's flooded with that awareness and that message and the hashtags, of course. So, the same idea we have, we create queens or we create ambassadors to voice out the problems and to get the solutions. So it's not that you go on the field, start working and create activism, but it's about, spreading the awareness and the idea what to do for it not to happen, and how alarming is it, but in a layman's language that people can understand and connect to. Because the more technical you talk, they will not understand. And when you say, okay, don't use plastic, they don't want to know don't use, they want to know what to do if you can't use plastic. So that is what the whole idea, at least I aim, to be the voice who can tell the solutions to people that, okay, do this, this is what you can practice in your day-to-day life. So as a climate leader, like you said, that what is it all about? So this is what it is about, the sustainable living, the endorsements, the spreading the awareness. That's what we aim at, because we cannot force someone, it's a personal choice. And people will only understand when that time comes that, okay, everything is
probably then it will be too late.
You fear, so when you look at your mom, dad, or as a mother, when you look at your children and you fear, oh my God, will they have water to drink? Will they have a land where they have their home? Because you need a land, you can't stay inside the water. So, all these things need to be in mind, otherwise also. But we only keep these things in mind when we see some news or something, some splashing thing that, oh my God, we need to work towards it. So our idea is to voice out, to reach out to the maximum we can, and to work together, with peace. It's like, it has to be feasible, it has to be economical, and it has to be like a practice, that you do. So you make environment your religion, but not that you're having that rage in you that do that right now, leave everything and start doing that. No, peacefully just go with the flow and start contributing bit by bit, So it will make an ocean, like we say, each drop counts. So everything counts, each action.
Very well said. एक बूंद से ही पूरा सागर भरता है. So that is what you said. It's so beautiful and very nicely put that rage is not needed here. Awareness is needed. And as a celebrity, when you say things, obviously people are going to listen to you. And
Yes.
when you were
It's a
talking
personal choice. Like it's a
yeah,
personal choice. So if you want to create, you're an activist, you're working towards something religiously and by your heart and soul, that's good. But what roles each one of has should be clear, because a lot of people get confused. They're like, ma'am, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you? So everyone has their role, even in the field of environment, even as ambassador, even as beauty queens. Not everything can be done by one person. So everyone has their roles given to them, and I just told you what am I aiming at and what am I looking for doing in my future. So yes.
We are living in this universe. It is, I think everybody needs to take care of it. Is not the responsibility of one person. It is
Definitely.
everybody's job. What we are enjoying, our future generations should enjoy. And Varsha very rightly said, what our parents enjoyed, probably we are not enjoying. Now we need to take care of our future generations. And it is each and every person's responsibility, not a single person, a leader's responsibility. Change happens from one person, from within.
It
And
does.
that's important, what Varsha just specified. And I hope anybody and everybody who's listening to this interview, it'll definitely make an impact. What is your contribution as a citizen of this country, or maybe a resident of this earth? What is your responsibility where you can make that small difference by not carrying plastics everywhere or not throwing garbage in the water or river, wherever you go?
The existing plastic that they have in home, they can reuse it. Not that they said ban plastic, so they go through all the plastics in the dump. No, they can make use of it. Like keep using it till it's actually completely gone and torn off, and then you see what to do. Don't buy new ones. The ones that you have, you can reuse. And then there are laws like the water from air conditions, the water runoff from the aquaguard. You can make use of that, planting while sweeping the floors or washing utensils. There are many. So if you just figure out inside the place that you stay or in your home, there are many things that you can practice. So it's not complicated. It's just about making it a habit. And also, like if you've seen right now when you talk about sustainability, it's the garment. So instead of just trolling someone that, oh, she just wore the same kind of gowns or the dresses, she wearing the same shoes. Instead of that, you should just understand why are they endorsing it. Maybe because they are reusing the garment. It's not that every time you have to wear something new, because there's a lot of social pressure that all of us go through, especially in the industry. But instead of that, I think it's more responsible as a youth icon, as a celebrity, as a leader, that you repeat your garments sometimes. Not all the times, because the designers will be then, oh my god, what do we do? So that's what I mean when I say that practice, that's important, and make it a habit. Eventually everything will settle and it will be good for future.
When you're saying this, Varsha, as a life coach, we say that decluttering of mind is very important, and it starts from decluttering of your wardrobes. So if in the morning I open my wardrobe and I find nothing to wear, but there are hundreds of dresses lying, we simply hoard things. Then okay, this is what this. We don't. If there is something which is not fitting, please give it to someone who can wear it. So if you know that these are the 5 garments I can wear, so if you have decluttered your wardrobe, that's equal to decluttering of your mind. You have clear thoughts, and you will be a better action taker. So that's what
your parents would agree and relate to. They'll resonate to what you're saying. So yeah.
No, I always tell it is so important, because the moment you open the wardrobe and you find nothing to wear, and there might be 100 garments, so the confusion starts from there. Why? Because as Indians, I think we have a habit of hoarding things and not giving. Oh, this will fit me after 10 years. This my daughter might wear. It's very expensive. Give it to somebody who can wear it, because there's no point hoarding stuff. Like if I have a daughter who's a teenager, she must have played with Barbies, keeping 20 Barbies at home, which she's never going to see again. That's better to give to a child who will play with those Barbies rather than keeping at home and cluttering my whole wardrobes with stuff. So that's what I'm mentioning about the decluttering. So Varsha, here I would like to ask you 3 amplification mantras for young girls who have that negative belief system, I cannot do this, or I belong to a middle class family, or you came from the eastern side of India, there is a lot of discrimination towards that side of the people. So you came over all that and still are so successful. So 3 amplification mantras for girls who want to achieve their dreams.
Okay. Wow, this feels like Coffee with Karan rapid fire round. Right. So I would just begin with saying that the success mantra that I have right now is sitting with Aarti giving an interview. So that's something that is successful for me. And mantra for me, I would just sum it up saying that I'll just say a few lines that were written by me, and I use it and I actually practice it. So it goes like, strive to master your thoughts, focus in the direction of your dreams, the reign of destiny will be in your hands. So that's like truly believing in yourself. Never let anyone judge. You need to excel with the excellence that's within you, not that you are told by someone you're good at this. So take your time. It's never too late to start over. And when people say that, oh my God, the age is running, the age is not going anywhere. At 80, if you feel that, okay, I did not do this and I want to do it, physically, yes, being practical, certain things you won't be able to do, but mentally your strength is, you're so strong at that point of time that you can. So never give up that attitude that it's too late. That's the problem which most of us have, and that's where it all starts, that we need to rush. We forget to enjoy life. We leave everything. If you see the pressure the kids have nowadays, I think it was less during our time. It must be more less during our parents' time than back generation. So that pressure should be less. So believing in yourself, please keep believing, never give up, because that's not going to help you. And like I said, that excel your excellence that's within you, with the spark within, just grow and listen to people and carry only that much which is important, which even your subconscious mind would know that, yes, I did this wrong, or maybe I could have done this better. But don't stop learning. That's where you fail. So every time, like we have heard this very common that learn from your failures. But that's true. You need to learn from your failures. You can't just give up because you failed 100 times, failed 1,000 times, doesn't matter. But trust me, the day you rise, then there is no looking back. That's when the real success begins. So yes, so that is what I would want to say.
Superb. Very well written lines. I just want to reiterate all the beautiful points which Varsha said. Never give up, believe in yourself, enjoy. Age is just a number, and enjoy the present moment. So important. And I can resonate so much because I started this YouTube channel at an age of 40, just I think 7-8 months back, and people told,
wow,
are you sure that you want to do something like this at an age of 40? I said, it's just a number. If everybody's on social media, why am me not try something which is new?
And you're learning. You just don't learn within one day. I don't know why people nowadays don't really get that. Instagram, Twitter, verifications, these things are not going to decide you're a celebrity or not. But what you're giving, the value that you're adding to the society, the value that you're giving, it's like you have few things like success. What is success? So it's not like you're getting applause alone, but it's like you're inspiring others. So that's important. So don't look at someone's profile and say, oh, they're verified, I have to be verified, then I become a celebrity or I become a youth icon. No, you are an icon yourself, because every person is having their own journey and they're doing it by themselves. No one is helping them to walk that path, and you learn through the process. So never stop learning. That's why I said that each moment passing in your life is teaching you one lesson. You need to keep that mind alert, and you need to be all the time at your toes that, okay, I need to learn from this person. I need to learn. I just saw a dance on the street, that boy was doing. Don't ignore, just go, don't do that. Learn from that guy. He will also teach you something. So, keep learning. It will take you a long way. So, yes.
It reminds me of a quote. Albert Einstein said that your learning starts at birth and ceases at death. And that's so appropriate that you just summed it.
Yes.
So now we'll start the coffee with current round. That's the rapid fire round.
Oh my God.
So let our audience know Varsha a little bit more better. So I've written few questions. So I'm going to ask you.
I'm
So the
nervous.
rule is so the rule is one word or one sentence. No
Okay,
explanations
I'll
needed.
try.
So describe Varsha in one word.
Trailblazer.
Wow. Your biggest challenge, Varsha.
To create my next best and to keep up a new benchmark every time I perform.
Brilliant, brilliant. Varsha, any regret in life?
Okay, this is not one word, but then, I'm very grateful to what I have, and I'm always being very grateful to whatever has been given to me. But I think every time I just go back to certain things, I think I could have done more, at that particular time. So that is my, I won't say my biggest regret, but yes, that's one regret that I sometimes have. If I say I don't have any regrets, would be wrong. But sometimes I think I could have done much better and given more value to it, So that's the regret that I have.
Varsha, your favorite food?
Food. I love Chinese. I just love Chinese. I love the Chinese vegetables. I love the greens, Chinese green. I just love it. It's one of my favorite food, though my profession doesn't really allow. But then, yes, it's my favorite, Chinese.
So Varsha, if you have to pick one of the following, what would you pick? Varsha the dancer, Varsha the beauty queen, Varsha the ocean ambassador?
Oh my God, that's a tough one. I think they all together make me Varsha Rajkua. So picking out one is like picking out one of your fingers. It's very difficult. So, it's like I would put it in a way that I would want to wear the crowning glory, my crown, dive deep inside the ocean and dance with the marine life. That completes me as a person and makes me successful.
Very nice, very nice. So, Varsha, one last question. Your inspiration in life. Who do you consider your inspiration in life?
Anyone you ask this, everyone will be like my parents, because that's where we start learning from our parents. Especially my mom and dad, they are extremely adventurous. They have that never give up attitude in life. And being a defense kid, one person that I truly relate to apart from my parents is Susmita Sen. She is a diva for me, and I think for all of us, most of us, she's a diva. She's an independent, strong woman. She has lived up to the cause. She with an open heart has welcomed her first child, Renee. So at that young age to take that decision, I think she has made a mark which will be, spoken about from generations to generations till eternity, I guess. So she's one person that I truly get inspired. Even now when I look at her, the way she talks, the way she walks the ramp, it's like she owes it all. So being that strong, that independent is very difficult, I would say. And living up to that mark, that okay, here I am, you better watch me. That's the attitude she's always had. And I think that's the kind of aura that she gives out when she is out there on stage or out there performing or even in public. When you look at her, your head will turn. You will look at her the second time, third time, fourth time. You'll never get bored. So she's a very content person, very happy with what she has, very grateful, I would say. And she has fought her battles very well without being portrayed as, help me out kind of a thing. So I think there's a lot to learn from her, and she comes across as a very strong personality. So yes, she sets up a very good example for most of us to learn and go ahead, especially in this field.
So you did a braver job with our rapid fire. I am sure the audience is going to love this.
Yes, successful. So I'm getting a hamper from Aarti Ahuja.
Yes,
people
definitely.
Watching the picture, you witnessed this, then Aarti Ahuja will send me a hamper.
And I must tell the audience, Varsha is very down to earth. And in fact, most of my guests, because it's a new channel, though I have 20 years of experience, but I started something which was very raw. So most of my guests, those who have come, and especially Varsha, never asked how many subscribers do I have. They were very modest enough that if one person is also getting inspired, let's do this. And
Yeah.
a big,
Changing
big
one life
applause.
is important. And Aarti, you're doing a great job, because like the way you approach people and you're trying to, make their stories reach out is very important because you're changing life every day. And, like we aim changing one life is also success for us. So, you're doing such a good job that I'm grateful that you called me, you have interviewed me, you're listening to my story, giving your valuable time. So it's great. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Varsha, for that. And here we come to an end. And before we end, I would like to say something. Few lines are coming in my mind. Hold
Wow.
on to your dreams. Just believe that you can. Nothing is going to stop you. And that will be your story. If Varsha can do it, we all listening to Varsha can do it. So she is an inspiration. Tomorrow, each one of you can be an inspiration for. You can make that small little change from today, and that's it. And we should not look for other people making those changes. So dare to dream, and you can fly. It's just dream with open eyes. So that's very, very important. And let's amplify with Aarti. Please subscribe to my channel and keep watching Amplify with Aarti. And we'll be coming with more and more interesting conversation and change makers like Varsha. Varsha, thank you once again for coming and gracing my show.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Aarti. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Varsha.